So what is up amigos, hope you're doing awesome. My name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So Shodha, the new Kannada series on Zee5, a lot of people have been talking about it, but most of the reactions so far feel a little restrained, almost as if nobody wants to say things as they really are. In this video, I want to be upfront and completely honest because what I'm sharing is not just a review of the series, but also my opinion on the bigger picture where Kannada web series are heading. First impressions matter and they can make or break an entire industry's reputation. When a new industry takes its first steps into a space like OTT, the audience is always watching with extra curiosity. They want to know whether this industry has something new to say, something strong to deliver, or whether it will simply fade into the crowd. And right now, when Kannada is only beginning to step into the OTT web series world, this was the time to make a mark. This was the time to give the audience a series that would make people across India and even the world sit up and say, here comes Kannada, with something bold, fresh, and mind-blowing. Instead, what we have with Shodha is not just a disappointment, it is a letdown so big that it risks sending Kannada industry years backwards in the streaming game. So much of the plot in Shodha is already lifted directly from the Hindi series Khoj, but let me still give you some context. The story follows Rohit, a lawyer who files a missing complaint for his wife only for her to suddenly return. But instead of relief, he is convinced that the woman who has come back is not really his wife. Now on paper, this kind of psychological thriller premise can be gripping and it should have kept us hooked with tension and doubt. But here, the way it is executed makes it feel lifeless. The suspense doesn't build naturally, the pacing is uneven and the emotional core just doesn't land. Technically too, the series falls flat. The cinematography never manages to create an atmosphere, the editing feels choppy and the background score is totally uninspired. For a thriller, these technical details are what makes or breaks the experience. They are supposed to draw us into the world and make us question every frame. Instead, Shodha looks and feels basic, more like a hurriedly made TV drama than a polished OTT original. And when your base itself is so weak, no amount of twists can lift the series. Now let me get to my opinion part about the bigger picture here, because that is more important. The most frustrating part is the marketing. The makers of Shodha have repeatedly claimed that this is not a remake of Khoj, the Hindi series on Zee5. But when you actually watch it, it is very clear. This is not just loosely based or lightly adapted. This is almost entirely a remake with some minor cosmetic changes thrown in. And the worst part is Khoj itself was a dud. It did not click with the audience despite having a strong cast. So what sense does it make to pick up a failed product and remake it without any real effort to fix its problems? If the original didn't work, why would the carbon copy suddenly work, especially when the Kannada version has even less energy? The acting is nothing extraordinary here either. Pawan, Kumar, Siri, Ravikumar and others do their part, but the writing never allows them to shine. Their performances end up looking just okay, not bad, but definitely not memorable. And then comes the subplot with Saptami Gowda, who has a national appeal now after Kantara. Let me be clear here, it feels completely forced. It has no organic connection with the main story. It is as if the makers wanted to throw in a familiar local face to give a fake sense of Kannada identity without actually thinking about how it ties into the bigger picture. Instead of adding authenticity, it feels like a gimmick. And when you already have a thin, recycled storyline, gimmicks only makes things worse. Kannada web series have only just started appearing. We had Ayyanamane, which itself was very mediocre, and now Shodha, which is frankly even weaker. Compare this with how other industries entered the OTT space. Hindi gave us Breathe, Inside Edge, and Secret Games right at the beginning. They didn't start with fillers, they started with confidence. Tamil brought Sulalt, which was bold, unique, and talked about everywhere. Telugu is still trying, but even there we have seen some good work like Dhuta with Naga Chaitanya and Rana Naidu with Rana Daggubati. Kannada had the same chance to announce itself on OTT, and instead of showing ambition, we are putting out half-baked, uninspired duds. And here lies the danger. If we keep going down this road, we will end up pushing ourselves backwards by years. Audiences will stop trusting Kannada content on OTT. Platforms will hesitate to invest in Kannada stories. And then even if someone does come up with a brilliant idea later, it will be much harder to convince people to give it a chance. This is not just about one series being bad. This is about an entire industry losing credibility before it even starts the race. So my message is simple and strong. If If Kannada wants to have a future in OTT, we cannot afford mediocrity. Whoever is selecting scripts, whoever is handling the budgets, needs to completely rethink their strategy. Stop looking for shortcuts and remakes. Stop remaking duds and pretending they are fresh ideas. Put in the efforts, bring in originality, invest in writing, and create something that truly blows people's minds. Because OTT is not just another space, it is the future of storytelling. And if we mess up our first impression here, we might spend years trying to recover. Shodha is not just a weak thriller, it is a wasted opportunity and a warning. A warning that if Kannada web series don't aim higher, we will be left behind while other industries move ahead. The audiences deserve better, the industry deserves better, and it is time we demand better. Thank you for listening to my rant, it was heartfelt. And thank you for watching me today. If you liked the content and my honest opinions and reviews, do like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Thank you for watching us today. Take care, stay awesome, and bye-bye.